Do you have a connection to it? Is water in your heart? Or is it something you fear? Because it's something that floods your basement. It's something that floods your field and costs you money. It's something that you don't want your kids to go into because you're afraid it's contaminated.
For indigenous peoples, that's very clear, right? Because we never extracted ourselves from nature. This whole idea that nature exists out there and humans exist in here doesn't make any sense. We're all we're here together. We're on this earth together with everything else on it, with all the trees, with all the water, with all the animals, right? We're a part of the environment. And I tell this to people a lot, and I'll say it again, the earth is the only thing that is real, right? You can touch it, you can be on it, you can nourish yourself with it, you can live from the earth. The earth provides you with sustenance to live.
The soils were half of the soils were air. The tall prairies were very thick. The vegetation on the surface of the ground was thick. It wasn't easy for water to flow off of the prairies, even on a hill. And it flowed down into those air pockets. And then it had to flow out, that going downhill, and it could only move very slowly. And as the water moved through those soils, the soils actually helped cleanse the water. So that you had water emerging. You could have 8 inches of water falling on a 16-inch soil, and that whole 8 inches would be absorbed if the soil was dry. Could absorb 8 inches. Now our agricultural lands can absorb, about 2 inches.
Naturally, we used to have, because we had to go to the water. Now the water comes out of a pipe, and so we've lost that connection. We've lost that, we think if as long as the city is cleaning the water, we don't need to worry about it. We don't make that a priority. Our access to our streams are very limited. They tend to be hidden behind buildings, in urban areas, in alleys, not places where people go and interact with them, or they're on private land where you don't have access to streams. Only 2% of Iowa is public. And again, if you think about that, our connection to water and not having access to that, not actually having access to those streams, that impacts us. We don't make water a priority because we have this fear, and we don't have this connection because of that limited access.
So that's what happened with a lot of the resources. We started to reshape the surface of the land, and I liken it to taking a razor blade and skimming off the surface.
I lived in Sioux City on the banks of the Missouri from the age of 8 to 36. I guess I saw about the last shipment of buffalo hides loaded down to one of the old Missouri River steamboats on their way to the St. Louis fur markets. I have watched whole farms crumble into the Missouri River, including house, barns, and cattle, pigs and chickens, watching building after building tumble into the river and be carried downstream.
Fly away, think of all the land, joy on every hungry. The world cries out, not for American tanks and guns to destroy more lives and leave more hunger, but for American plows and food, 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 American plows and food.
It's hard when you hear the argument like we're feeding the world, and it's like, for how long? When the very thing that allows you to do that is washing the pressure.
American plows, food, 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 American plows, food,
Washing the pressure.
Like I said, when I was really young, we used to drink water out of it all the time. There are fewer and fewer family farms because it's hard to make it as a farmer nowadays. Nowadays they've taken all of those fences out and they plow from road to road.
80% of our landscapes are for the pigs.
The most pesticides, herbicides, fungicides, fertilizers, pig waste, animal waste in general, but it's all going into the water.
This is the way the world ends, this is the way the world ends, this is the way the world ends, not with a bang but a whimper.
How do we change the way people feel about water? How do we make them not afraid of it? And can we change the way they think about water? And then can that lead to making water a priority?
Water quality and quantity is just a symptom of degraded soil. And if we spend some really intentional time investing and centering on soil, it's hard for me to imagine a greater return on it.
The nutrient flow. So this complexity is symbiosis, of plants that develops if you allow it to. And then, okay, there's less phosphorus just having to be applied because the plant has another source.
The place full of people from all walks of life, looking very different from one another, sitting in the same table, having a conversation, and enjoying the same food. It's just the best thing to see.
When I started to grow cover crops, I wanted somebody to learn from, and those guys had some experience, and they helped me out. And so then I have to help other people learn how to do it. So then it kind of grows.
So Grow Johnson County is a wonderful operation that grows food specifically for food access organizations like Food Pantry. So again, they harvest it that morning, send it directly to places like us. So it's just like peak freshness, beautiful produce. It's always really exciting. It's like Christmas. just to see what's coming on the truck.
They're starting to experiment, and so they'll have a farmer's market that'll start here in July. People we have Latin American countries to Northern African countries. You know, I can't tell you how many languages are spoken out here.
These were our waterways, our lifeways, our medicine. And we too want to sing a song for the water, a song for Wakpa-Tonka. So we listen. We listen. Listen. And then on the edge of a dream, the songs come, condensed from the fog like dewdrops on cattails. They form perfectly clear. Whispering through leaves, heavy voices rise up, drift beyond night toward the silent dawn, and sing. Hector hana derum tipi, heu heu heniung kiksuya pikte, ampetu dena derum tipi, echao heni vundu wampikte. Mani pejuda, mani wichoni, mani wakam, mani wakam. Always on still morning air they come, connected by memories, connected by water.
Avoir votre nom et une femme comme le nom et ce que vous faites, quel
Put this in your kettle and stew a bit